Hello, and welcome to this app tour for the Destiny Church app for Destiny Church in Naples, Florida. We do these church app tours to help churches understand and be able to explain what an app can do more easily, since we find that a lot of times it can be very hard for the church to be able to pass the information down to the people that go to the church of everything an app can do. So what we're going to do is just walk through everything that the Destiny Church app can do. First of all, I'm going to deep touch the icon, and you can see I can already jump into almost any section of the Destiny Church app here from the home screen on my iPhone 7. So I'm going to click Sermons, and it will take me right into the sermon section, and there are all of the sermon series from Destiny Church listed in order, with the most recent sermon series listed at the top. And I can press any of these sermon series, and you can see I have a list of the sermons from that series. I'm going to click back now, and I'm going to go into the Hope of Glory, which is the newest sermon series. And you can see here there's 4 messages, the most recent one being Easter Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and touch the Keep Believing message, the second one in the list. And you can see here I have a list of details, including the speaker, the date it was given, the series it's from, as well as the sermon name. And along with that, I have options that I can do for this message. At the top, I have an embedded player where I can just watch the message right there. And below that, you can see I have the ability to listen to audio. To the right of that is an arrow pointing into a box. That's the ability to download the message. Below that is a watch button, just to make it very obvious you can watch the message. And next to that is the notes. So almost every message from Destiny Church, you can go back and look at the sermon notes while you're listening. So first of all, I'm going to click this arrow pointing into the box, and I'm going to download this message. So once it's downloaded, that allows me to listen to the message offline. So I can go into airplane mode, I can go running, I can be on an airplane, and I can listen to this message. So then I'm going to go into listen to audio. Now realize you can listen to it without downloading it. You're just going to be streaming it. So I'm going to click listen to audio, and it takes me into the player, and it immediately starts playing because it's downloaded now, so it takes no time to stream. You can see along with the fact it's playing, and you can see the time moving, you can see there's an animation at the bottom. The significance of this animation is not only that it looks fun while you're listening, but also if I navigate away from this screen, I'm going to click the notes button now, and we'll talk about notes in a bit. But if I navigate away, you can see the animation follows me around the app. So I'm going to go to calendar now, and the animation is still following me. And the thing is, in a lot of apps, when you have audio playing, it can be hard to figure out how to get back to it. And we can't always have it in the top right corner in the navigation bar because there's other buttons up there. So this is here, so you can touch it at any time, and it will take you back to the audio that's playing. So if you want to stop it or whatever you want to do with it, you can do it. So I'm going to touch that animation, and I'm taken right back to the audio that's playing in that section of the app. I can also select the back button in the top left, and it will still keep playing, and touching that will take me back. But the significance here is that now I'm listening to the sermon, and I can press the notes button. And now I'm listening to the sermon and reading the sermon notes for that week. Now, it's not very easy to take notes through a YouVersion web view, which is why we build custom notes into the app. But this does give you the ability to be able to read the notes while you're listening to the message. So I'm going to go ahead and go here. I'm going to pause it. You can see the animation stops, and that bar stops following us around. And I'm going to go back to the list of sermon series. You can see in the top right corner there's a folder button. I can press this, and here are all of the downloaded sermon series, or the sermons and the sermon series list of downloaded messages. So it divides it just like it did on the main page. It divides the downloaded sermons into the series you've downloaded them from in, and it also keeps them in the order that you've downloaded them. So now they're not in the order of the newest message, they're in the order of the most recently downloaded message. So you can see I just downloaded Keep Believing, and there it is. But I can go into that, and you can see there's an X here where that download button was. That gives me the ability to now delete the message. So if I want to free up space, I can delete it from here. I can delete it from where I originally downloaded it from, where I was listening to it. Or in the top right corner here, you can see there's a trash can. This will give me the ability to delete all of the downloaded messages, making it easy to quickly free up all the space that I may be taking up. So if I've downloaded 10 different series and multiple messages from each of those series, now I can just delete them all real fast and not even worry about it, and just kind of clean house if the time comes where I want to do that. Or I can just hang on to them as long as I want if I want to keep a hold of some of the messages and have them there for easy access. So the last thing in the sermon section is is here at the top, you can see there's a click here to watch live button. Touching that banner up there will just take you to the website where the live stream is hosted. And I'm not going to do that now because nothing's playing now because there is no live stream. But all it takes is just touching up there, and it will take you right to watch the live stream when there is a live message on Sunday morning. Next up, I'm going to select the notes button. Now you have access to some awesome sermon notes here because Destiny Church puts the banner in here for the sermon series that's currently happening at Destiny Church. So you have it looks beautiful. You can see that at the top here you have Hope Eternal, which is the title of the sermon. And then you have the notes listed below, point by point, including scriptures. And the really cool thing about this isn't just that you can access the notes and view them, but that you can, as you can see in that blue bar at the top, it says touch any section to take a note. So I can touch anywhere here on the screen and take a note on that section of the message. So I'm going to touch the Hope Eternal section right here, and it pops up the ability for me to write a note. So I'm going to say top note because I'm taking it at the top, and I'm going to select add. You can see next to Hope Eternal now, it's really easy to see that I have taken a note on that section because a little note icon has appeared. And the significance of this is that all of your notes aren't being written in where you took them, because then it would get really messy to go back through and look at what the actual notes the church wrote were. But now you can just see, oh, I've taken a note here, and I can just touch that note icon, and hey, there it is, top notes written again. Whereas if I select below that, nothing's there because this is where a note hasn't been taken. So I can take a note here. I'm just going to write gibberish, and this is a big block of note that Destiny Church has added. But you can see right here in that big block of note that they've added, there is the note I've taken. So quickly scrolling through, it's really easy to see where the notes I've taken are at. And then once the message is over, at the bottom here, you can see an email sermon button. I'm going to select that, and what it's going to do is open an email, and my notes are taken where I took them. So any church has the ability to break their sermon notes into pieces, or they can just paste them in as a big note. In this case, you see everything pasted in as a big note, but still the title is its own separate object. So you can see I took that top note on Hope Eternal, so it's taken in line where I took it. And then if I scroll down, you'll see at the bottom here is that gibberish I wrote on the main body of the sermon notes. And so now I can just email these sermon notes to myself, and now I have a digital version. I don't need to worry about losing my sermon notes. And something really cool about this is I was just talking to someone from my church, and they were telling me how they love this feature because they set up a folder on Gmail. So when they email the notes to themselves, the sermon notes are just automatically put into that folder, and then they just have an archive of all of their sermon notes there ready to look at if they ever want to reference anything. So it kind of helps to automate things. You just email it, and you know it's there waiting for you if you set up that filter. So that walks you through a lot of the really cool things you can do with sermon notes. And one last thing to take note of, in the bottom right corner, if the font is too big or too small, you can select those magnifying glasses, and it will zoom in on the font and zoom out on the font, and the app will remember that you did this. So even after you exit the app, when you come back, the font size will be the same as you left it. Next up is that Bible button. This Bible button actually deep links you into YouVersion. The neat part is how it deep links. So instead of just opening a web view like we saw for the sermon notes earlier, it will actually take you into the Bible section of YouVersion with a click, and then you can easily come back with the navigation that's built into both iOS and Android. So I'm going to go ahead and select that Bible button, and you'll see, hey, it's taken me right into YouVersion. You'll see it'll open, and then here it is. It takes me right into Read. And YouVersion is going to remember what I was reading last. So this is Acts 1 because I was reading in Acts last night, but it will take you wherever it was that you were reading last. So the app is not telling it, hey, go somewhere in the Bible. It's just saying go to the Bible that they were reading, where they were reading that Bible. And you can see in the top left corner of the screen, I have the ability to go back, and on Android, you just have your back button. And that'll take me right back into the Destiny app where I was. So that gives you the ability to have access to all of the Bibles accessible from YouVersion. That's one of the reasons we use YouVersion instead of building a Bible reader into the app, is there's a bunch of licensing associated with Bibles being built into other products. But YouVersion gives you free access to just about every Bible ever written. So now you can easily access that while you're in the Destiny Church app if you have the desire to do so. Next up is the calendar section. The calendar gives you the ability to see everything going on at Destiny Church, and Destiny Church does an amazing job adding events to the calendar to show you everything that's coming up. And with any event, you can select the information button, and it will pop up and show you specific information about that event so you can get more details. And in some cases, there are no additional details, and it will just tell you there's no details. But even better, on the left-hand side, you can see the Add to Calendar button. By pressing this, the first time you press it ever, it will ask you if you want to give Destiny Church permission to be able to add an event to your calendar. You select OK, and then from then on out, it will just add the event to your event or to your device calendar. So I just added Rage Young Adult Service. I'm going to add, Healing Room. So you can see this time it's not asking me for permission. It's just saying, okay, you've already given me permission. I can add it. So this gives you the ability to just look at the Destiny Church app and scroll through it and add every event on the calendar that is something that you want to remember, and it will add it to your device calendar. So that means your iCal or your Google Calendar if you're on Android. And then, for instance, my wife and I have our calendars linked. So by simply clicking that button, it's adding this event to all of our calendars so we remember the event's going to happen. So I can scroll down this list and in probably 30 seconds add every event that's relevant to me like that without having to link up any sort of calendar or do anything. So it gives you the power to quickly add everything and keep track of everything that's going on in the church. So it seems super simple when you look at the calendar, but it's a very powerful tool. Next up is the Connect section. This, surprise, lets you connect with Destiny Church. You can see at the top is a Connect card, and this gives you access to a form, which when you fill it out, will send an email out to, it'll notify Destiny Church and also fill out a spreadsheet so they can keep track of all the Connect cards that have been submitted. But you can see what you'd expect from the Connect card from Destiny Church, and this gives you a digital version so anyone can fill it out whenever they want. They don't actually have to be at church now when they fill out the Connect card. Next up is the SOAP card. This is something we just added into the app, and this is the reading plan for Destiny Church. It just gives you the list of passages for the reading plan. You can see below that are just information taking you to web pages for different ministries in Destiny Church, as well as a list of life groups, and also ways to connect on social media and view the web page. And last of all, ways that you can actually connect by emailing or calling Destiny Church. But one thing I want to mention here up at the top, the email invite button. So what we've talked about so far are ways that you can connect with God, listening to sermons, taking sermon notes, but also connect with the church through especially this Connect section, the calendar. So these are two very important aspects of what the app can do for you, is connecting with God and connecting with the church. But one last thing we like to really push is being able to help people connect with the community. And that's what's really cool about this email invite button. So let's say you're at Target or something, or wherever you are, you're at Walmart, and you run into someone, you start talking about church, and they have interest. You're like, hey, you know what, man? I love my church. I love Destiny Church. You should come visit sometime. You know what? Let me get my phone out. You pull your phone out, you press the email invite button, and it pulls up this branded email for Destiny Church. So you can easily just invite someone on the spot. You don't have to type anything. All the information is here as was already figured out by the staff at Destiny Church what should be said. So it walks them through the kids ministries, Carbon student ministries, young adults ministries, service times, links to the website, and it's all built out so it looks great on a desktop computer. It looks great on an iPad, on an Android phone, everything. It's just built out to look beautiful. So all you have to do is say, hey, what's your email address? You type it up there at the top, you click send, and it goes off. And even in our own church, where we've seen this used a lot, we've had families join the church, and this was the starting point because it's so easy to do. And now they have a personal connection having met you at wherever Walmart, but they also have a very nicely branded connection through the email that looks very professional as well. So it's just a really great way to reach out to someone in the community if you're able to do so. So this kind of shows one way that you can use the Destiny Church app even to reach out to the community. So the last section in the app I want to talk about is the giving section. And this has the different ways that you can give at Destiny Church. At the bottom is envelope, and this actually doesn't do anything. Like I'm touching the screen down there right now. It does nothing. It's just telling you, hey, you can send like a check or something to Destiny Church at this address. But above that are two different buttons for digital giving and for text to give. So I'm going to go ahead and click the digital giving right now, and you can see it takes me to Easy Giving Online where you can give to Destiny Church. So you can do that, and then once you're done, you can, in the top left, go back to the app. But also if you want to text to give as well, instead of having to know the phone number, you can come right here, you can select text to give, And you'll see here that I've already done that. So what I've done here is I've done what the instructions say. I've texted give to that number, and you can see here are the instructions for how I can give to Destiny Church. So giving could not be simpler. It's all integrated within the app, and you can now give however you want directly from the app. So hopefully this tour has given you a really good idea of all the different things you can do with the Destiny Church app. There's so much you can do, whether it's reading, following along on Sunday mornings, catching up through Sermon Archive, or just staying up to date with everything going on at Destiny Church. If you're interested in seeing more features of what can be done in a FaithLink app, please visit www.faithlinkapps.com. And if you just want to see some of the stuff that we have going on at FaithLink, maybe to see new features that we're just rolling out or testing out with churches, because you might want to try testing them out or be interested in integrating them in the Destiny Church app, please like and follow our Facebook page, which is FaithLink Church Apps.